what is the very first what's the very first piece of media you remember in your whole life? Like, what's the earliest memory you have of a TV show or a movie or a game or anything?
Well, for movie, it's seriously easy. I was literally 4.5 years old. My mother she was 20 when she had me, so she was, a young girl, so she wanted to go see movies, so she'd take her child with her. And it was Star Wars in the theater. And I can't tell you anything about that experience except three scenes: the trash compactor scene, Luke staring over the sand on Tatooine, and the trench scene. That's it. I couldn't remember, but that's the first movie ever, and it obviously had a huge impression on
Yeah, I
me.
mean, Star Wars for a lot of us was mind blowing at the time. Like, that was one for me when I was a little kid, where that's all I was playing when I was going outside. I was Han Solo 100% of the time,
Oh yeah.
running around the playground or the jungle gym or whatever.
The thing is, no one I knew wanted to be Luke. That's the crazy thing. Everybody wanted to
Yeah,
be Han.
why is that, you think?
I don't know. The only time I wanted to be Luke is when my parents, summer, you're 5, 6 years old, they drop you off at YMCA and they have the pool, and you would mimic the scene where he's fighting Vader in Cloud City on the diving board and be like, no, and then drop into the pool like you were
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
like you were doing something dramatic, like no, like yeah. That's it. That's the only time you ever try to be Luke. It was always Han.
Well, it's funny that even a 6-year-old knows that Han is cooler than Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke is the hero, but even as a small child, you don't care about being the hero. You want to be cool, not heroic.
It's cool, but I also think it's like a sub, like you kind of get it in your head at an early age, like people are flawed, and you
Right.
pull for people to do the right thing. And Han was a quote unquote scoundrel, but you pull for him to do the right thing. Luke was like the pious person, like you got to do this, yeah. And Han was kind of like the average guy, like you have a choice to make, like what's it going to be? And I think that's why people like Han more. Honest,
Well,
that's just my personal opinion.
and is it maybe because Han surprised you more, right? Like
Oh,
you didn't. He was the rogue, so you didn't know what he was going to do next. He was shooting aliens underneath the table, kissing his sister. You didn't know what to expect from Han. Where Luke was a little more like you knew he was going to bitch and moan and overcome the odds at some point. He was a little more
I,
boring.
yeah, my favorite movie of all time, hands down, and I'll fight anybody over it, is Empire Strikes Back. And one of my favorite scenes, I even love the soundtrack to it. To me, it's a great standalone movie. It's a drama. It doesn't leave with a cliffhanger, but there's just a great story there. My favorite scenes is Han going through the asteroid field. And it's just, the odds of surviving the asteroid field 2,361. Never tell me the odds. It's like shut him,
Right.
like just his awesomeness, like no, like he's gonna do this. Like that's Han was just cool, man. Like in the line, obviously my girlfriend hates it where Leia's like, "I love you," and he goes back, "I know." She goes, "I hate that line." I'm like, "No, it's a great line." She's like, "No, it's not."
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like,
bro.
yeah. No, that's an amazing line.
So, what was then the first movie that you just religiously watched over and over and over and over, like as a small kid?
It's gonna sound weird, but again, my mom was young. Told me I saw Conan the Barbarian in the theater, and I shouldn't. Obviously I was 9, and we had HBO, and I remember going back to whatever, if I was 9, that's 4th grade, going back to the playground and
Mhm.
pretending to push over those concrete wooden, or not wooden, but those concrete tubes that they put on playgrounds. And just every time I go on HBO, I would just watch it religiously. I love Conan. And
Yeah,
then
that's the second Conan we've had so far.
uh,
Uh,
the Arnold Conan is just, to me, like it's an opera. Like if you look at it anything other than an opera, you're looking at it the wrong way. It's just a classic opera story. There's minimal dialogue, but it's a tragedy. And you want, like, the older I get, the even more I appreciate it. If you look like with soundtrack, acting, cinematography, it's a great fucking movie.
Do you know the opening dialogue by heart?
Uh, yeah, but
The
you
video.
put me. It's hold on. Before the oceans drank Atlantis, before the rising sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. An age. You put me on the spot and you
No,
screw it up.
that's good enough. That's good enough. Good job. I was gonna say, that was what I was talking about last time. Is I wish I knew I could recite that opening because that to me that was always so epic and cool as a kid.
Well, the sad
Like
thing is,
these fighting pits.
any of my friends I grew up with, they're going to give me crap about this. I don't know what you're. I'm going to try to hold my profanity down. Like I swear a lot, but I'm going to try to hold that. You're
That's
going to give me crap about this because we used to play in high school and college. Well, when we were appropriate age to drink, not condoning underage drinking. Yeah, but we used to play a drinking game like. Uh, Quote that line, or even with comic books, like there was a thing called the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, 80 and 84 edition, which had bios of every character. So it'd be like, what's Peter Parker's height, weight, and eye color and brown color, and that'd be a drink. So all my friends that just heard me not complete that line are going to give me crap about that.
yeah. So you said your mom was really young. How young was your mom
She was
when she
20
had
when
you?
she had me.
Okay, so you had the cool parents then
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, it's
to a point.
yeah, to a point. I mean, she was young, and he was. My dad was 6 years older than her, but he worked. He worked night hours, so you know, it was the average. I guess mid to late 70s, mid 80s childhood upbringing. That kind of middle class upbringing.
So were you basically more or less, unsupervised like most of the rest of us Gen Xers growing up?
Yeah.
Latchkey kid per se?
Oh yeah. Be home by dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Summertime, we had actually 3 whole months for the summer from Labor Day to Memorial Day, or Memorial Day to Labor Day. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those,
basically, yeah, we were just released into the wild
yeah.
as soon as your friends hit you up in the morning
Where
or
did you
something
grow
at
up?
the
Where,
house.
where did you grow up?
So when I was younger, I was in Colorado.
Okay.
Uh,
Were fireworks legal in Colorado?
yeah, we had legal fireworks.
Okay. So that's the thing I try to tell the people is, growing up, and I'm talking anywhere between the age of 11 and 12 to maybe before you could drive, well, you could drive 15, maybe 16. But 4th of July and New Year's Day, you go to the fireworks stands and you'd buy Roman candles, bottle rockets, and all the neighborhood kids would get together because you're shooting off fireworks anyway, and you'd have a bottle rocket war. Like straight up, you'd make guns that could
Yeah.
light bottle rockets, Roman candles, you just charge people with Roman candles. And I kind of feel bad that kids don't get to experience that anymore because,
One of my friends got the Roman candle right up the shirt,
yeah.
and it was just flying around in his shirt, and he was running around screaming
Because
and glowing.
Because the thing is, with a bottle rocket, that 1 in a million chance something bad would happen. It never happened around me, but you'd read about it in the paper, like, oh, it blew up in somebody's eye.
Yeah, you got to be
90,
doomed for that to
yeah,
happen.
yeah, but 99.9% of the time, if a bottle rocket or a Roman candle kind of went off on you, it burned your shirt. I don't know how many shirts and jeans my mom
Yeah,
would get mad because I come home because I have little burn holes in. It might sting a little, but yeah, it was fun. Like you'd go all out. It would be from like sundown till probably 10 o'clock at night. It was just shoe sides. We would make PVC piping and like wood things like actual guns, so you could put the bottle rocket in. It has like a little metal piece that you could light it, shove it in, and pull the thing up. And it was fun, man. It was a good time.
throw them. We would just
Oh no,
either
yeah,
just let it go straight out of your hand,
yeah,
like underhand kind of wing it, like get it going on its way, and then let it just.
yeah. The worst was if that one stray one hit your bag.
Oh yeah,
And it was spectacular for 5, 10 minutes, but then you were like, all my fireworks are gone. Like,
yep,
oh, all my fireworks are gone. Yeah.
yep, yeah, and I guess when you have kind of free reign of the world like that as a little kid, there is a lot of just pyro things that happen.
Well, the thing is,
You
it's
start,
there,
combining
there's that
things in
weird
a bucket and
there's that
seeing what.
what I'm saying is there's that weird fine line between child abuse and just letting kids be kids. It's like what was it? There's a famous quote, I forgot who it was, but Senate hearing or in the 80s, they were talking about pornography, and someone said, "I can't define pornography, but I know what it is when I see it." It's the same thing with like, hey, yeah, your kids, they come home, they take care of themselves, they're not doing anything crazy, they get scuffed up, they come home. If they get injured, yes, you address it, but it wasn't this obsessive, you know, worry.
Helicopter parenting.
Yeah. So I think honestly, I think we were the last fun generation to grow up. To be
Right.
honest.
That was that Larry Flint's trial.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
Um, yeah, we did have a blast growing up at that time. Like that was, BMX bike gangs,
Hmm.
pyrotechnics, sneaking out at night.
As long as you didn't come home with a broken bone, you were
Right.
good. You were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell
You could come
people,
home with some road rash, that's for sure.
yeah, I tell people, me and my good friends I still talk to, we first got our licenses. There was three of us that had cars. One had a pickup, one had a CRX, and one had a little Honda. And we bought CBs, and they played this game called Cat and Mouse, where one car would hide, and you'd give them clues, and you have to find it. But the catch was, when you found it, you had to tag the driver. So it got to the point where we're driving down, a major, a main street road, 35, 40 miles an hour. I'm in the back of a pickup, wetting pieces of bread, throwing it at the windshield, and then hopping in the back of another pickup truck moving and tagging the driver, going like, "I got you." And at the time, you look back and you're like, "That was some stupid, idiotic stuff." But at the time, it was like, "No, I got it." It was just it. As long as you didn't come home with a broken bone, you were fine.
Yep.